And blessings, friends, what's up with all the daydreamers out there? Please live it, don't sleep through this thing. Welcome back to another episode of The Pour Over, where we pour over into you some words of encouragement to not only get you through one of your days, but you know, we try to get you through life, Charlotte. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. Let me tell you about when I went to an auction for the very first time ever. Tired of driving my wife's car and still kicking myself for getting rid of the Mitsubishi I had, I found myself out of necessity looking over a few cars that were up for auction on a Thursday afternoon. Now, do not ask me what type of cars were out there because I don't remember, frankly. All I know is that a very few of them were very pleasing to the eye, looked really good, and the rest of them really made my eyes hurt. Especially when you came to looking at the interior. They look like Freddy Krueger and Spike from the Gremlins were the previous owners of these cars, and they just finished filming Nightmare After Midnight Feeding on Elm Street. I mean, what are people doing in these cars to make the interior just look like death? Somebody please let me know something about that. Anyways, the auction started, and needless to say, I was completely lost. The dude was speaking at the speed of an Alvin and Chipmunks Christmas special, but sped up 12 times faster. If this dude doesn't slow down, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on now because I couldn't tell what was coming or what was going. I did not know what the bid was on anything that even pulled up. I looked like a squirrel in the middle of the road, and all I wanted to do was get to the other side of the road without getting hit. But then it happened. A car pulled up and the bid started. Once again, I was at a complete loss, and all of a sudden my homeboy who came with me, who talked me into going to the auction, hit me on my, hey man, you gonna make a bid or what? Now the auctioneer must have heard him because he looked at me and said, can I get a 950, can I get a 950, can I get a 950, can I get a 950? And I'm still looking at him like, then again he says, can I get 950, sir? Will you put 950 on it? And I was like, yeah, sure, 950. But here's the kicker. I had no idea what I just made a bid on. The car that was in front of us was a white car. That's the car I thought I made a bid on until they started to actually bid on that white car. And I'm sitting there like, what in the world is going on? I actually bidded on the car that came before it. I had no memory of what this car looked like, nor what type of car it was. I don't even remember it. I really didn't remember the car. I was at a loss for words. I leaned over to my homeboy and said, bruh, what did I just bid on, man? And he said the Toyota. And he said a real cool, calm, and collected. And I sat there like, okay, cool. Okay, bet it up, and then sat there looking very scared that I got one of the cars with the interior from the horror slasher movie Nightmare After Midnight Feeding on Elm Street. I was real nervous. Now I'm freaking out, but on the outside, I was trying to keep it copacetic. I was trying to keep it cool. My dude, I think he senses I'm kind of nervous, and he leans over and he says, the car is in good condition. I said, bet, and continued to freak out on the inside of my soul. Now look, sure, I can take my boy's word for it, but understand I don't know what this car even looks like. I'm not trusting anyone with my wallet, and I'm about to put money on a car I don't even know what it looks like. So the auction was coming to a close, and we went into the office so I could pay the bid plus the buyer's fee. Guys, think about this. I'm about to pay $950 plus a $300 buyer's fee for a car that I have no clue what it looks like nor how it drives. And I'm thinking to myself, this is about to be one expensive prepaid blind date, and I feel like we won't get along, and eventually I will not even get a kiss good night. I think the door is going to slam in my face after this one, baby. So I paid the money and got the green light to go back to retrieve a car that I have no idea what it looks like. And then we walked up on it, and there it was. It was a Toyota Solara 2002, black with brown and cream trimming and a sunroof. And I'm saying it like it's everybody's dream car. I have never heard in my life of a Toyota Solara. Yeah, a Camry, but not a Solara. What type of bootleg Eclipse is going on up in here now? For $1,250, the question is, of course, what is wrong with it? We all ask that question when purchasing a used car at any low price, right? Let me give you the rundown. Cracked front bumper, but not crazy. Crazy can be replaced easily. Some scratches and a few dings and dents and everything like that, but typically would come with it. The trunk needs to be repainted. The interior overall was surprisingly in really good condition. Sure, the driver's seat looked like that monkey with no hair on their butt sat in it, and the driver's side covering for the front interior door handle was broken, but overall, after cleaning the seats, the interior looked really good. And a good washing made the outside look even better, so visually the car was good. Nothing to really go crazy about, but it looked good. But what about underneath the hood? Now that's the kicker right there, right? Well, I took the car to O'Reilly's to have the check engine light read. Found out it had a misfiring in one of the cylinders and my catalytic converter needed to be changed out. I can't complain too funny until I found out how much a catalytic converter actually costs. And then I kind of complained. So I got the cylinder corrected and also did an oil change and changed the spark plugs. And I finally got the catalytic converter done. Other than that, right now it is running pretty good for $1,250 plus a lot of hush money on the side. I can't complain because I was able to get a car that ran and avoid making monthly payments on a new car. I walked out with a car that ran, and surprisingly, I actually really like this car. Because let me tell you guys, matter of fact, let me tell you, I absolutely love this car. And you wouldn't believe why, right? Here's the reason why I love this car. Well, it is a two-door, and when I close that door, it feels like I'm closing an old model Chevy. It takes me back to when I used to ride with some of my old homeboys who owned older model box Chevy cars. Just the weight of those doors slamming, the sound of those doors slamming. Does something to me, man. And let me tell you, my dream car actually is a 75 Caprice. If I could get my hands on one of those, I would be happy as a pumpkin pie. Anyways, let me keep going. And that's just it. That's just it now, because now I fell in love with this car. A car that I had no clue what it looked like. Bought it. Got it checked out, got it worked on, and I'm in love with this car, and that's just it. You never know what you are going to like until it is actually in the palm of your hands. Life is the same way. Too often we treat tomorrow like it will be a repeat of today, and we approach tomorrow with that mind frame, but out of necessity, I found myself at an auction bidding on a car. I have always heard about auctions, but I've always heard negative, skeptical things about it. People would typically say this: yeah, you can go get a car for the low, but you really don't know what you're getting under the hood. And while this is true, it's the same thing about life. We end up not going somewhere or not doing something simply because of another person's word or going off of their experiences, when chances are we are getting 13th hand-me-down information from someone who's never experienced what they are actually talking about. They are only repeating what they've heard from others who have not even experienced what they are even warning you about. It's equivalent to somebody trying to tell you about New York who's never really been to New York. Do you get the picture? So understand, we think we know what we're going to get out of tomorrow when we actually don't. That is what makes life so interesting. Yes, it can be scary at times. Yes, it can be a little nerve-wracking at times, but it's interesting, and oftentimes it's actually fun. The fact that we don't know, but we allow the unknown to control so much of our lives in a negative way. So let me put it this way. The most scariest question you need to ask yourself right now is what if? But the most freeing question you need to ask yourself right now is what if? Think about it. What would happen if I started working on this project? What would happen if I recorded these songs and released them? What would happen if I picked up that camera and filmed the video that has been in my head all this time? What would happen if I actually filled out some applications for jobs that would challenge the qualifications that I have? What would happen if I went back to school? What would happen if I finished my college education? What would happen if I finished high school? What would happen if I studied a little harder? What would happen if I just went and drove out to the mountains? What would happen if I turned off the television? What would happen if I went downtown and just walked around? What would happen if I just saved $20 a paycheck, because I'm not saving anything right now anyway? Shoulder shrug. We don't know, but let's find out together. Let's bid on life with our blindfolds on and pop the hood of our existence to find out exactly what it looks like underneath the canvas of our skin. Sure, we will need some maintenance and some cleaning up being done to ourselves, but at least we will have the title to our lives and we won't have to make monthly payments to someone else just so we can live it. Hey, this your boy Sleep. Much love and respect, guys. Peace. Hey guys, so if you made it this far in the video, man, I want to first say thank you for your consistent support, your consistent viewing, comment, interaction, and even sharing these videos. Everything from the pour over to my Facebook lives, even down to my music videos and poetry, man. You guys are extremely blessing me with just interacting with me on a consistent basis. But I do want to ask that if you want to further support, and it's totally optional, if you want to further support what I am doing with these videos and continue to help it grow and everything like that, consider donating to my Cash App down here at the bottom. Again, it is totally optional, guys, because right now you guys are doing well over enough by just viewing, liking, comment, and sharing these videos. But if you want to be a part of it a little further and you want to consider donating, please do so, man. Much love and respect, guys, man. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.